Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum. I am Carlton Brown, and welcome to the show. Should the International Cricket Council scrap bilateral T20 series against cricket-playing nations? I came to this opinion because earlier today, news came that the UAE T20 is scheduled from January 6th to February 12th, 2023. There's a lot of excitement around the UAE T20. One rumor even have it that the top players will be earning as much as 2 million US dollars, which is, if a top player is earning 2 million US dollars, this will rival the IPL. But my call about the International Cricket Council scrapping bilateral T20 series is that I want to take a closer look at what is going to happen in January. Between December 2022 and February 2023, you will have the Australian Big Bash starting in December, which runs until January 28th last year. So the Big Bash that started in 2021, in December 2021, never finished until the 28th of January this year. So one has to assume that January next year, the Big Bash will be playing. The Bangladesh Premier League is also set to play between January and February next year. That's the Bangladesh Premier League. Well, the Bangladesh Premier League last year have Sunil Narine in it because he never went to the PSL. So that to have Sunil Narine in the Bangladesh Premier League, that means it has some credit. So the UAE T20, which is scheduled to start on January 6th. The Big Bash in Australia, which never ended until January 28th this year. And now this new South African Premier League, which is scheduled to play in January. So South Africa is having their third go at this competition. But news coming out is that a consortium led by Kevin Peterson, IPL franchises like the Mumbai Indians, the Delhi Capitals, the Rajasthan Royals, and the CSK, that the Chennai Super Kings, they are interested in purchasing teams in this new South African Premier League, which is also set for January. The Rajasthan Royal, the Chennai Super King, a consortium led by Kevin Peterson, the former England batsman, who was hated and loved by some, the Mumbai Indians, the Delhi Capitals. These are big names in T20 franchise cricket. Apparently, they are taking the road that the Knight Rider groups, the Calcutta Knight Rider groups, are taking in spreading their wing worldwide, in spreading their brand worldwide, in buying franchise team all over the world. So right there, 4 T20 competition set to be played in January. Set to be playing in January next year. 4. Some will be in the second stage. Some will be in the first stage. Some will have most of the competition in January. But added to that, the UAE T20, which ends February 12th, 6 days after, the PSL, the Pakistan Super League, which some says that the standard is better than the IPL, will start on February 18th. So with this vast amount of cricket, for top quality cricketers, and a lot of money being pumped into these cricket leagues, I think it is time for the International Cricket Council to scrap bilateral T20 series against nations. 2 benefits. 1, they can ask for more money to go to these cricket boards the world over from these franchise cricket. So right now, in franchise cricket, whenever you buy a player, like say Andre Russell from the West Indies, a percentage of what the Calcutta Knight Riders buy Andre Russell for is remitted to the West Indies Cricket Board, to Cricket West Indies. So if more franchise cricket is being played, more money, and if they ask for a little higher percentage, I don't have to go by much, 1% more, 2% more, because 1% and 2% of $2-3 million is a lot of money. So look at our top earning cricketer, Russell. So Russell is playing franchise cricket 8 months for the year. And at the end of the year, he made $8 million in total, $8 million US dollars. If the West Indies Cricket Board is getting 3% of that, 3% of 8 million, so that's over 240,000 US dollars from one player. Over 240,000 US dollars from one player from playing T20 cricket. They don't have to organize anything. They just get the money. There's no cost to Cricket West Indies. So I'm saying, if the ICC scrap bilateral T20 series and the money from these franchise cricket pumps back into these governing body, it will be better for these nations to develop their cricket. The second thing, when they scrap the bilateral T20 series, is that they can still play World Cup T20. So that should be the only time that nations get to play against nations in T20. It will raise the bar. If you know that you're only going to play against Australia in T20 every 2 years, the competition, the status, the level of excitement and anticipation will raise, and it will be more grander because you know that there's no bilateral T20 series. So when you're representing your country, and it could even extend it to every 4 years, really seriously, imagine if T20 franchise World Cup extended to every 4 years. Imagine the amount of money. Everybody will want to sponsor it. Imagine when you know that you're going to want to play for your country once every 4 years. Imagine the passion. Imagine the determination. But seriously speaking, whether it is 2 years or 4 years, it's okay. It's fine with me. What I am convinced about, though, is that the ICC should scrap bilateral T20 series, and these teams should only play T20 Internationals during World Cup, at World Cup, whether it's every 2 years or every 4 years. Allow franchise cricket so that the players can earn and the boards can earn more money to develop cricket in their own region, in their own country. So I'm calling for T20 cricket to be scrapped, for T20 bilateral cricket to be scrapped, and T20 cricket should be limited to franchise cricket except for the World Cup. Because there are so many franchise cricket being played now. I named 5 here. And plus, apart from these 5, you have the Sri Lankan League, you have the Abu Dhabi T20, you have the CPL, you have the IPL. Coupled to that, these players, because people really want to see top-class players, People really want to see top-class players. Else, country, if the ICC do not scrap bilateral T20 series, it will force more players to choose between their country and money. And I know where I'll choose. Definitely, country don't put pot on fire. I will have to choose the T20 cricket. Look at the UAE, and there are some big, powerful names in the UAE who have purchased franchises in the USC, the Knight Rider Group. Manchester United owners, the Adani Group from out of India, Reliance, I've heard that even Reliance have purchased one of these franchises, the Delhi Capitals. So these are big, powerful groups. So when you are hearing that players may be paid up to $2 million US for 5 weeks of cricket, who is going to play for a country like the West Indies when they get $2,500 US to play a T20 match? When you can play in the UAE tournament and earn $2 million, you probably only want to play that tournament for the year. So if the ICC decided to scrap bilateral T20 series, I think is a way forward in the right direction. Getting my tongue twisted and all of that. Oh, just a minute. Good stuff. Very good stuff. You should try it. Very good stuff. Yes. So if the ICC decide to stop bilateral T20 series, it's a way in the right direction. It will limit players' burnout. It will limit the number of players who are deciding to stop playing international cricket, because they will be looking forward to the T20 World Cup and they will be making a lot of money playing franchise cricket all over the world. And then they will come and play. Those who are test cricketers will return and play the test cricket. And they will play ODI. So I'm calling on the ICC to scrap bilateral T20 series. Now you would have known that the test match between England, yes, I'm getting this right, yes. The first test match between England and New Zealand ended yesterday at Lord's with England winning. I'm not interested in the result. It seems Saturday was Ben Stoke's birthday. And it seems like the curse of Lords followed Colin the Grandhomme, this New Zealand all-rounder. You remember on Friday that New Zealand recovered nicely after being 40 for 4 or somewhere thereabout. Daryl Mitchell and Blunder, the keeper. He never blundered yesterday. He never blundered on Saturday and Friday. He played very well. So while Daryl Mitchell and Mark Blunder put on a good partnership for New Zealand and they were batting steadily, and they were 251 for 4. They were 251 for 4 Saturday morning. The fourth over of the second new ball, Daryl Mitchell on 108, Blunder on 94, New Zealand 251 for 4 and looking in good position to push the match out of England reach. Broad bowled a very good delivery, touched down nicely and on about half stump, shifted up the hills at last, nicked the hedge, and Mitchell gone for 108. Fine, that's good. In come Colin the Grandhomme. First ball, an inducker from Broad. Lick booming at the pad. Not out. The ball missing 6 stump down the leg side. But they still appeal. That's how cricketers behave. They still appeal. Grandhomme out of his crease. Not going for a single, nothing. They appeal. And you know, as a batsman, sometimes when they appeal, they get flustered. Before Grandhomme, the Grandhomme realized what was going on. Pope, who was feeling that gully, threw down the stump. He was out, run out. The Grandhomme was out, run out, first ball. Not going for a single, but was out of his crease. So, but it never stopped there. When England was batting, in the 4th ball of his second over, Grandhomme clean up Stoke. Bowling, clean bowling. Stoke was 3/4 of the way, and then you heard that it was a no ball. Same the Grandhomme. So he ran out first ball carelessly. He bowled Stokes with a no ball. But if you think that was the end of his problem, if you think that was the end of his curse, in running into bowl the sixth ball of his fourth over, he pulled up and have to leave the field. So he run out after one delivery, bowl Stokes with a no ball, and 2 overs after he has to leave the field because of a muscle problem. The curse of Lord. On Ben Stokes' birthday, you don't want to be playing against him because somehow he just seemed lucky. To tell you the truth, there was a run-out opportunity. You know what happened? Tell me what happened. The ball hit Ben Stokes' bat. It never ran for 4 this time, but it hit his bat and ran away. It never reached the boundary. So Ben Stokes at Lord's on his birthday is mythical. It's mythical. It's things of legendary proportion. And Colin the Grandhomme, the New Zealand all-rounder, suffered the curse of Lords on Ben Stokes' birthday. Sorry, Kevin Grandhomme. The next thing that I want to talk about is that it appears that in cricket these days, that more and more teams are using a batsman being retired out as a strategy. Now, in the first match of the T20 Blast this season, yesterday, Birmingham Bears were playing against Nottinghamshire. Now, Birmingham Bears is led by Carlos Braithwaite. You remember him from the 216 World Cup? You remember him? What happened to him? We are not hearing much about him these days. I was surprised that he's the captain of the Birmingham Bears and actually playing. I thought he was now a commentator. So, the match, because of rain, the match was reduced to 8 overs per team. Things going on fine. So the end of the 7th over in Birmingham Bears innings, Carlos Braithwaite was batting at the end of the 7th over. So the leg spinner, I think his name was Harrison. I think his name was Harrison. Calvin Harrison, I think his name is. A leg spinner from Nottinghamshire came on to bowl the last over. When Carlos Braithwaite saw that it was a leg spinner who bowled over to him earlier in the innings for the 6 runs and beat his outside edge 3 of those 6 deliveries in that over, he decided that he's going to retire out for the last over. It was a good decision because the batsman that came in got 18 runs off the final over. So Carlos Braithwaite telling the whole world that he cannot bat leg spin. And so he retired out just not to face the leg spinner because it was the final over of the innings. So it is being used as a strategy. Many persons don't like it, but I don't have a problem with it. It's a good strategy, and it had more dynamics to the game of cricket. It elevates the excitement of cricket. What if he had retired out and the batsman that came in got a 1 ball? Wow. So you understand, it elevates the excitement and it elevates the chances, risk and reward. And in this occasion, they got 18 runs off the last over. So it was a good decision for Carlos Braithwaite to retire and don't face the leg spinner, Calvin Harrison, in that last over. But then come the last ball of the match, with Nottinghamshire needing 6 runs to win off the last delivery of the match. It was bowled by Craig Miles. So 1 delivery, 6 runs to win. Craig Miles running, bowled a full toss, the batsman hit it, and they got 1 run. But lo and behold, it was a high full toss. So it was a no ball. And here's the drama now. In the T20 Blast, a no ball is counted as 2 runs. Not 1. So a no ball is counted as 2 runs, and they ran a single. So instead of now, they only need 3 runs to win the match. But Samit Patel, who was at the non-striker end, who have been playing, it appears that from I was born, Samit Patel is playing T20 cricket, if you can believe that. But we know that T20 cricket was not here for long. But Samit Patel probably playing T20 cricket for the past 20 years. You know, with his big belly, you know that all-rounder, big belly, him playing the CPL sometime. So he was at the non-striker end. And with Nottinghamshire needing 3 runs to win after the last delivery, what do you think? Samit Patel retire out so that a faster man could come and run. Eventually, though, they only get one run off the over. So Burnham and Bears still win. But this is just part of the strategies that are now finding itself in cricket. And I applaud these strategies. And that is why I'm saying to the ICC, scrap T20 bilateral series against teams. Let them play against each other in the World Cup. T20 franchise cricket is the way to go. Scrap it. Scrap the bilateral series and let the players concentrate on making money, and so that money can come into the coffers of the boards. Thank you for tuning in. I am Carlton Brown, and next time, take care and God bless. All the best.